Hey, good morning, guys. I wanted to hop on here before I get my day started, and it started this morning as I was riding my bicycle, and I can just kept hearing in my spirit when you hear people often say, "I'm waiting on God," and just waiting on God. But the truth of the matter is that sometimes God may be waiting on you, because how many of y'all know that there are seasons when waiting is the right response? I mean, I've been there, especially when God has not spoken, when the directions is unclear, or when patience is part of your growth. But there are also times when waiting becomes a form of disobedience. And why do you say that, prophet? Because God has already given instructions. He's already opened the door and provided everything needed for you to move forward. Especially when God has completed his part, then the responsibility shift to you. And at that moment, and I had to learn this, what used to be a prayer request becomes something you must act on. What used to be you asking God to move becomes you taking the steps he's already told you to take. And I just want to talk to somebody, because how many of y'all know that partial obedience is still obedience? But throughout scriptures, you would begin to see miracles often happen only after someone acted on what God said. Let's think about the Red Sea. The Red Sea did not part while the people stood still. It parted when Moses, my God, stretched out his rod as God instructed. The walls of Jericho did not fall because the people wished or prayed for it. They fell because the people marched in obedience. The lame man did not experience healing until he stood up in faith. The woman with the issue of blood did not receive her miracle until she pushed through the crowd. And not only did she push through the crowd, but she reached for Jesus. And these examples shows us that faith is not only believing God can act, but also responding to what God has already spoken. And the revelation behind this is that many people are not truly waiting on God. Let's be real. They're not waiting on God at all. They're waiting on the courage to obey. They're waiting on confidence. They're waiting on motivation. They're waiting on their emotional strength when the conditions are perfect. But God is not waiting for you to feel ready. Can I say that again? God is not waiting for you to feel ready. He is waiting for you to trust him enough to move even when you feel uncertain. And what God is saying, that he has already arranged the resources. He's already opened the opportunities. He's already set the timing and placed the right people in position. But I want you to know this morning, he cannot release what belongs to your obedience while you remain stuck in a place of hesitation, a place of fear, a place of overthinking. And what God is saying, trust me enough to move according to my timing and not your timing. And how many of y'all know that this is a time when God is moving with the people who choose to move? He is blessing those who step forward even when they do not see the full picture. And God began to tell me, he said, son, I'm honoring those who take action on my word instead of waiting for extra confirmation. Could I just talk to y'all? He is not blessing your passiveness, your excuses. He's not blessing your procrastination. He is blessing pursuit. He's blessing those that are moving in action. He's blessing those that are in alignment with his instruction. And how many of y'all know fear will always tell you to wait, but faith will tell you to move? And one thing that I've learned, that faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is the decision to act despite of fear, because you trust God enough, and that you trust him enough that you're trusting him more than you're trusting your feeling. And what we have to understand, y'all, that even when it comes to our destiny, even when it comes to our destiny, it's not only about what God desires for you, it's about what you're willing to walk into. Let me say that again so that you can get this in your spirit. Even when it comes to our destiny, it's not only about what God desires for you, it's about what you're willing to walk into. Many doors remain closed, not because God has not opened them, but because many of y'all have not stepped towards them. I know. You see, so many people, they're praying for change while holding on to the same habits. They're praying for miracles, but continue to delay obedience. They're asking for breakthroughs, but they're avoiding the uncomfortable steps that lead to it. And I just want to say this before I end this. So instead of you constantly saying you're waiting on God, just take a moment and ask yourself, is God actually waiting on me to believe what he said? Is he waiting for me to act upon what he's already revealed? Is he waiting on me to step into the promises he's already approved for my life? And I just want you to know that God has already done his part. Now he's waiting to see what you will do with the faith, the instructions, and the opportunity that they have placed in your hands. And I wanted to hop on here to share this with you guys, and I hope that this is encouraging to you. And just continue to trust God enough that you're going to trust him enough that you're going to trust him more than you're trusting your feelings. You're going to trust him more than what you're able to see with the natural eye. For the Bible tells us that we walk by faith and not by sight. And that's why the Bible tells us, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying. He never told us, he that have eyes to see. Because how many of y'all know that your eyes or what you're able to see can sometimes fool you? It's a faith walk. And I just want y'all to continue to pray for me as I continue to pray for you guys, and enjoy the rest of your evening.